show. If you're a sports person, if you're a Kenyan, if you're patriotic, if you just like athletics, if you like pretty girls, whichever way you like your sports, that's the place we start. Why? Because Madam Faith Kipyegon sits atop of the world. Okay, last night was fantastic. I was screaming myself hoarse in the house, and everyone else was thinking I'm a bit crazy, you know.
Yeah,
chanting and saying cafe, cafe, go. For those of us who know her a bit, you know how we call her cafe. It's because the first time she showed up, she was like really a small girl. Never quite really, yeah. But yes, that's where we start the show. Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, congratulations to Faith. She stands on top of the world in every other way you wanted to be. Like the commentary said there, she was perhaps the greatest ever miler of all time or in history. Last night she confirmed, no, not perhaps. I am the lady to be. And I think that's where we start the show. Mr. Bernard?
Yes.
You know, athletics makes me go like,
I can see.
Changamka tu. I'm like,
I can see.
This is nice.
You know, the thing is, like, I was also, you said you were screaming yourself hoarse. If you were neighbors, trust me, it would have been a chorus.
Nice one.
Because I was also, like, you know, I was watching it and I realized, hold up, especially in that final 400 meters.
Yes.
I was like, is her pace increasing?
Yes.
Because I know, at first I didn't understand what those lights were.
The wavelength.
I thought it was just
the wave light.
The wave light. So I felt ni madoido tu ya kufanya race ikae. You know, this was my mahanjam.
Yes.
Then I looked at it, I was like, hold up. Then I had the commentator saying that that's actually the record that she's chasing.
Yes.
Then it's like something, like there was something that just gave her that extra boost. It's like she had just reserve energy. I know she was going. Then I was like, yeah, she's going to break the record. Because, you know, more often than not, you know, the Diamond League, you used to world lead. Then I was like, yeah, this is the record. This thing hasn't been, it was Dibaba who last broke it.
Yep. Many years ago.
Yes.
For me, it was when they said they want a pace of 351. So they said the pacemakers have been told to try 351. So I'm like, I know the record is 350. So they're being told to do 351. They're being told, guys, just get her as close as possible. Then we see. Then there was a reason she didn't run in Kipyegon Classic. And that was one of it. Like, so when I asked my sources who know her, who are close to her, and one of them told me, she's looking at Florence. She wants to do something special. So she was like, no, let's do Doha. Let's skip Kipyegon, let's get ready. So I had the feeling, but the moment it's 400 meters to go and you can see the lights and you can see she's right there with the lights, and the key thing for me was control. She looked so relaxed. She didn't look like composed. She's chasing it. Yeah, she looked like everything is in control. Then with 200 to go, she was step by step with the light.
Good afternoon, viewers. You know, James was so excited, didn't say hi.
I know, today there is no for hi.
So there is a lot about Faith. I don't even know where to start from. There's so much good things to spell out about Faith Kipyegon, the person.
Yep.
Faith is one of the very few athletes, when she lines up for the rest, I'm sure she's going to win. Unless she trips like Biden, she's going to win this thing. As in that, and then hers is not a tactical race. Most of the time when she gets to the final 1500 meters at a championship, at the Olympics, it's her alone. She's not like 2 or 3 Kenyans or Taskizana.
Yeah, it's not, Hakuna team tactics.
Hakuna team tactics at you umechoka, you go for it, blah, 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 blah. She's on her own, she does it. She did a bad one to Sifan some time back.
Yes.
A bad one. Where Sifan was like the favorite. And
see, at Tokyo too, hapa karibu hapa.
So she's one of the few athletes in Kenya, because now we're discussing how great is she. 2 world titles.
Yes.
I think 2 Olympic titles.
2 Olympic titles.
She's only 20 what?
29.
So she still has some time ahead of her, but this culminates into the Faith that, you know. Let me tell you something about how I handle sports. Sports has poster boys all over.
Yes.
In football, of course, there's a lot of conflict about it. Who is it? Could it be Oliech? Could it be Mariga? But whenever you see about
for the record, for me it's Oliech. But
the poster boy of Kenyan football for some time has been Wanyama.
Yes.
We've seen him week in, week out at the international stage. Mariga did much better, but Wanyama has always more likely been the poster boy.
Again, I'm not sure Mariga did much better, but yeah, I get it.
Statistically.
He played 8 minutes in the Champions League final.
Yes, but he won it. He won the Serie A. He won the Coppa d'Italia.
Beat part player na Wanyama alikuwa anapiga hii shughuli. Anyway, let's stick to the point.
Okay, the point, yeah. So for rugby, it's normally more or less injera over the last 10 years.
Kolo.
It has to be injera.
Yes.
When you get to volleyball, it's been Wanja. There are very many people who perform more than Wanja.
And after.
Braxidi Zagal has done much more, in my opinion. Massimo has done much more. But somehow,
Wanja.
the volleyball team is going to be named, it's Wanja.
Even when she's not playing.
Even when she's not playing, it's going to be Wanja. Even when
Top
she was
of mind.
slowing down,
Yeah.
there's something, and she was just a setter. Well, attackers have done much more, won more points for Kenya, but it's been her. For athletics, it's almost coming into Kipchoge and this lady. For me,
Yes.
it's almost narrowed down to these two because of what they've done for athletics. And last night was just it. You hear the commentator say she's past the lights, she's ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
that adrenaline that comes with it, and we're so proud, and we're so lucky to be Kenyans to cheer Faith as one of our own.
There's something you've said there, and I think it's very important. Faith is almost always by herself. In most of these finals, you'll be like, it's Faith Kipyegon versus Sifan. It's Faith versus Caster Semenya.
Yes,
Remember in London 2017? It's always Faith versus someone. For me, it's her ability to do it whichever way. Yeah, you want a slow race? I'm there.
We will do
You
it,
want
yeah.
us to put the foot down and go like last night? I am
We're
there.
game, yeah.
You want me to calculate and know when to kick?
I'm
I am
game.
there. It doesn't matter. Whichever thing you throw at her, she finds answers. And for the longest time, they used to line up and they say, oh, Sifan Hassan is about to do ABCD. Faith wins. Oh, now Caster is here. Faith. Like she almost used to go under the radar. But then in the last 2 years, she's like, I am the greatest. And I think when we sit back, we need to ask ourselves a few questions. And that's what I was thinking about. Number one, is she easily the greatest 1500-meter athlete of all time, both men and women? Can she lay claim to that? Because I think for the women, it's standout. She is. But can she be the overall greatest 15-quarter miler we have ever seen, man or woman?
I think Wokabi, the statistics speak for themselves, and I personally would confidently say that she is. Because if you look at, when is the last time she lost? 2019.
Yes. No, every year she loses one. Every year she has this funny race where she becomes second, and then when you ask her later, she says,
But still in the podium.
yeah, no, it's that way. It's always
Yeah.
some Diamond League meet somewhere. She's second, and then
I was actually looking at the statistics for Diamond League,
Yes.
like how she's performed. I think about almost 20 races she's won, and then in between those 20 races, she didn't do 1500 meters, she did the 1 mile. She
Yes.
won all.
Yes.
Wow.
So she's a phenom.
Yes.
She's a 1500 meter phenom.
Yes.
I think trying to say, could she? I think she is.
She is.
She is, because
Like both men and women. That's what I was saying. Let's look at from both men and women. Whether it's Nuruddin Moseli, Said Dawita, Asbel Kiprop, the guy who's currently the world record holder, the guy from Morocco, Hichamel Gerouj. Whichever way you look at it,
is.
I think she would be
Because
the best.
She deserves a mention.
double
Ever.
Olympic champion,
Yes.
double world champion, and you're forgetting as well that she was a dominant athlete as well in the cross country,
Yes.
because that's where she started. Remember, she was in Bidgosh.
Yes.
She was part of the crew. that
She's
was in
got
Bidgosh.
2 world junior titles.
Yes.
In fact, the only thing Faith hasn't won is a senior women's world cross country individual
Yes,
title.
yes.
It's the only thing she has won every other thing. World youth, world junior, Commonwealth, she has won it. So I was just like, I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, so why because where do we take this conversation? And here's the next one, which I think we shall continue after the break. Is she the greatest Kenyan female athlete of all time?
Good.
Just have a thought.
Yeah.
We come back, we see, is she the greatest? Like, if you think back to all the Kenyan greats, Pamela Jelimo, Catherine Dereba, Tegla Lorupe, Sally Barsosio, Selina Kosgei, Isabella Ochichi, Lucy Kabu, I'm trying to go through my head, Janet Jepkosgei. Is she the greatest? Is she easily the greatest that ever competed for Kenya? I think she's the most decorated.
She deserves a shout here.
Is she the greatest?